that's where we're going to start today. I will say this, Como, I looked it up. What does it mean in Italian? Of course, it's a famous city and it's a Y-shaped lake in northern Italy, but Como doesn't mean in Italian what it means in Spanish. In Italian, it means a chest of drawers or dresser. And it actually comes from the French word commode, not meaning toilet, but meaning the place where you keep your clothes. So, Como. Chest of drawers. Dresser.
Got it.
Welcome back to Stateside Gooners, everybody. We are season 3. We continue to move forward. This is episode 148 or something like that. Arsenal won. Como won. Arsenal take the shootout 4-3. And we know how important that is when we're talking about the Emirates Cup.
Always.
That is the last time we're going to talk about a scoreline that is meaningless and useless and a scoreline that doesn't count for quite a while. Tell us about Cesc, Matt.
Cesc. So great to see Cesc on the sideline. Frankly, it was nice to see him. I have an affinity for Cesc, not just him, but his midfield partner for all those years. That was Matthew Flamini,
Matthew Flamini, yeah.
Famous. He's
billionaire.
For those, yes. Owner of BF Chemicals. Unreal. What he's done with his post-football career. But Cesc, let's get back to Cesc. You know, this was our first ever meeting between Arsenal and Como, and Cesc is the manager that made it all happen. Because why else would we play Como? I don't know. A little bit about Cesc. He joined Arsenal at 16 from La Masia. That's the youth academy at Barcelona. He was also the youngest skipper for Arsenal when he captained them at the ripe old age of 21. There are some that say he left contentiously. I would say he always wanted to go back to Barcelona. So that was always going to be his return home. I just remember all those seasons, all those summers, sweating it out. Is he going to come back to Arsenal? Is he not? And then finally that ended. And here's another side fact: Como, they actually qualified for the Champions League, so they're not a slouch team. This was going to be a good test and nice match for Arsenal.
Two things about Mikel and Cesc: they never played on the same team, which is so funny. Arteta signed at the end of the same window for Arsenal as Cesc left to go to Barcelona in 2011. Isn't that funny?
That was the same window. Okay.
Same window. So they never played together. They missed each other by the summer window. But look, the American read on this one is interesting to me because I think a lot of Arsenal fans came to the team after 2011. And so many American fans don't even know the story about Cesc. And he came to us, like you said, he came to us early. He was the captain relatively early. Broke our hearts when he went back because he came from La Masia. When he went back to Barcelona, broke our hearts, and then broke them again. Yeah, right. Like, so it broke our hearts because he left, but like he went home, right? Finger quote.
Sure.
But I think when he came back to the Premier League, we had the opportunity, sort of first right of refusal, not just because he was like, come get me if you want me. And we said, nah, we're good. And then he was like, I'm going to go play for Chelsea for a buttload of money. And then that team, I think, also had Giroud, and they beat us in the Europa League final. Is that right? Was that?
That is correct. I think
it's a lot
part
of
that team.
Yeah, it's a lot of broken heart kind of stuff. So
yeah.
I still love Cesc. I didn't like him as much then, but I was glad to see that he's back. If
Yeah.
Arteta ever leaves, I hope we get Cesc.
I don't know if you noticed, but on the sidelines, they were wearing identical outfits, the black shirts with like the khaki pants. Yeah, I don't know if you did the who wore it better, but my vote's certainly for Arteta.
He has the Lego hair, so like he's always going to make it look better. Yeah.
But they both looked like they could grow a beard in seconds. Yeah.
Tell us about the game.
Oh, there was a game. I didn't realize it was one of those preseason games. Honestly, from the game itself, both teams scored with pretty much their first real chance. Arsenal dominated the game. There's not really a tactical story with this one. It was just trying to get minutes in the legs of players, some leaving after a half hour, some leaving at halftime, some leaving after 60 minutes. I think my main concern was this is the third successive non-victory, losing to Betis, losing to Dortmund, tying Como. It's a bit concerning for me. We controlled the game, but couldn't really score goals. I don't know what you guys think about concern of that as we get into the trophy game this weekend, and then the season starts the Friday after.
1.3 goals per game in those 3 games, so we haven't solved the problem of scoring more goals. We don't have all of our starters. I get it, but still.
Yeah, we're not. At this point, it's a matter of running around, getting used to playing with one another. There's no cohesion as far as focusing on what are you going to game plan? What are you going to do in the match? I don't think there's any of that going on. Too many changes that happen. I think Arteta's been swapping out the players every 30 minutes, essentially. So plus he's playing Vieira. So I mean, there's all kinds of things that are happening that
plus he's playing Vieira.
Well, and he's starting Jesus up front. I mean, they granted they want to sell him, they want to put him in the shop window and all that stuff. So I have a hard time believing that. I know, Eric, we talked last time about how you believe every game matters, but I don't think this mattered at all to anybody. It was nice to see the reunion. I don't think the stadium was even half full today. So, yeah, just a matter of getting some minutes into legs and get ready for the Shield. The Shield.
So the question was, do preseason games matter? And I think, if I recall, what I said is every game matters, but preseason games, it's not the score.
Okay. Gotcha. That's the correction.
I think that's what I said. Okay. But the game matters because it's all the strategy and it's all the who's playing when and how, like all the things you said. So every game matters, even preseason games. I don't care if we win or lose, technically.
But we did have a player that did play in the second half.
Our new signing.
For the first time in an Arsenal shirt, right?
Yeah. So Bruno came on at halftime. So he got 45 minutes in his legs this week. It looked like he was playing the 6. He was all over, left to right, between the boxes in the middle third. We were dominating the whole time he was in the game, so he was pinging passes around left and right. Not too many risky passes. He ended up with 32 touches, 23 of 26 passing, so just around 90%, which is standard. 3 defensive contributions, 2 duels won, and a partridge in a pear tree. No, I mean, a penalty kick in the shootout, which nobody really cared about, but we won 4-3, so I'll take it. The thing I'm interested in, Rice didn't even suit up for this game. He wasn't on the bench, but when the season gets started, it's really what is the relationship between those two. Who presses, who triggers, are they on the same page in terms of their spacing so that they're not going to get warped out of shape and too much distance between them. I think that's going to be the real interesting thing. So I don't know when we'll see Rice back in the kit, but that's one thing I'm really interested in. I don't know. I think in terms of the midfield, we had Lewis Skelly, Ethan, and Eze, I think, starting.
Yeah,
those are the starters, and I thought they all played pretty well. Ethan had some nice touches in the offensive third. MLS had the goal, but he was pinging it around at 100% passing. Played a decent amount of time. I think he played 60. Ezzy only played 30, but he dominated those 30. He was just making passes left and right, created 2 big chances. So pretty good game from the midfield all around, from the starters all the way through Bruno.
That's awesome. Lewis Skelly's the one who scored the goal, and there's been a lot of speculation about whether he's going to stay with the team or not. Matt, you thought if we're going to sell him, we can't sell him to Team 115 charges, but if we were going to sell him, did you say 85?
Yeah,
but if it's Chelsea, 100 million?
Street. Yeah, if it's Chelsea, it's 100 million. If it's anybody else, could get him for 85.
I mean, we've bought enough players from Chelsea that maybe that makes sense. And the truth of it is, I mean, there is speculation around it, but we haven't seen anything official. Arsenal haven't said they're trying to get rid of him. No bids have come in. I think any news that comes in that's talking about selling him, getting rid of him for any kind of amount of money is clickbait. So treat it as such. And I think, the thing we have to think about is, you know, if he is up for being sold, you know, here's a Hale End graduate, 100% profit, and he scores a goal while there's transfer talk. So all it can do is drive his price up if we're going to use him as a make weight for our PSR.
You saw some stories about Zubi going to Chelsea, going to Madrid over the past week too. I think it's just the effect of signing Bruno. They realize that there's not as many minutes to go around for everybody. So the clickbait artists get out there and start planting stories.
Would you sell, I mean, this is a little sidetrack, but would you sell, if you had to sell one, would you sell Zubi or would you sell MLS?
Pure profit. I don't want to sell either, but pure profit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd sell Zubimendi.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I just would. Yeah, longer career is going to be on MLS's side. Yeah. So I think that's the way to go.
What's our preseason? How did our preseason go, Matt? Wrap it up for us here, and then we'll go talk about this next game.
Well, preseason, from a score standpoint, not very good, was it? There was that behind closed doors friendly that's not what was that? 4-1 is what it was said. And then Girona away, that was 4-1. Real Betis at home, that was a loss.
Segunda, Spanish second league. Oh no, Real Betis. Girona is that one. Real Betis.
Girona, right? Girona is the team in the second division.
My bad. Somebody slapped my wrist.
Borussia Dortmund at home lost 3-2, but remember there was that Martinelli goal that was disallowed at the very end of that. So Como today draw 1-1. So what? Again, I don't take a ton away from this. It's good that all of the players have gotten equal minutes. Everybody's ready for the Shield. How's that? That's the main takeaway that I have from the preseason.
I agree. Sunday afternoon, Cardiff. Arsenal are going to walk out as the champions of England for the first time in 22 years. And the team across from them does not have Pep Guardiola for the first time in a decade. And so it does feel weird to say both of those things together, but this is the 104th edition of the FA Community Shield, the big plate. How many sides? 8. And it's Arsenal against Team 115 charges, Sunday the 16th, 3 p.m. in Britain. That's 10 in the morning here. So those of us watching, get your coffee. Maybe if you like Irish coffee, I don't know. It's in Cardiff. Matt's going to tell us about that. But we qualified as Premier League champions, first time in a long time, because we've qualified as either the second place finisher when the winner of the league also won the FA Cup. and as winners of the FA Cup a number of times in recent years. But Team 115 Charges qualify as the FA Cup winner, so it's a little bit of a flip on its head. This is the first Community Shield held outside of England since 2006, and the first in Cardiff in 20 years. Wembley's unavailable because there's a concert. Matt, who's playing?
I looked it up. Wembley is sold out for like 5 or 6 days in a row for the weekend.
The weekend.
Yes, the weekend. So I get it.
The weekend is sold out for the weekend.
Correct. It's sold out on the weekend.
Worth noting, guys, we've won the FA Cup more than anybody. I don't know if we won this more than anybody, but 17 times we won the Community Shield, and we've been in the game 24 times. So what is that? About 2 out of 3, roughly? It would be nice to get this one. This seems to be the game that we beat Team 115, to be honest. We've won it from them a couple times.
Well, that's true. We have, haven't we? Yeah, and this is, as you said, the first time the Community Shield played outside England since 2006. First time in Cardiff in 20 years.
I stole your thunder on that one.
I mean, yeah, we've got this note about Wembley being unavailable, and we all know why. I mean, the weekend is a big draw, so I can see that.
I don't even really couldn't name a single song.
People? You didn't see him sing at the Super Bowl halftime? He performed at halftime of the Super Bowl.
I don't even know if I watched the Super Bowl
2 or 3 years ago. That's
Broncos
the only
fan,
time I've seen him. That's the only time I've seen him.
Broncos fan, they lost in the AFC final. I didn't watch the Super Bowl.
My son went to see The Weeknd last summer, so he's probably much more up on his music than me.
All right.
Cardiff, it is not random. The Cardiff has hosted this, specifically the Millennium Stadium, hosted the Shield 6 times between 2001, 2006. And why is that? Because Wembley was being rebuilt to the monstrosity that it is. What is it, 100,000?
It's big.
I mean, it's massive.
It's almost as big as Beaver Stadium at Penn State.
That's true. It is, almost. Not quite.
Just about.
And during that 2001 to 2006 period, Arsenal did appear in 4 of those, all 4. And they won it there in 2002, 2004. The one time that things were played in Cardiff that are not really a great one. You talked about it earlier, I think, in this episode, the 2007 League Cup against Chelsea.
Oh, no, I was talking about the Europa League final, which was in Kazakhstan or something.
Oh, okay. So this was, this was not a great appearance, the 2007 League Cup final against Chelsea. So I'm not chat about that at all. But we've got a new boss.
Yeah. So Pep is out.
Yeah.
He left Team 115 Charges at the end of last season after a 10-year reign. In comes Enzo Maresca. He was appointed a month later at the end of June after weeks of speculation.
Yeah,
so this will be
was getting it.
Yeah.
Weeks.
He basically wished his way out of Chelsea in order to get this job once he knew it was available.
I think he just walked out.
Yep. So Sunday's his competitive debut for 115 Charges. In the 10 years that Pep was at City, or at 115 Charges, he won the league 6 times, the Champions League, a total of 20 trophies. So whatever anyone thinks of the financial situation at 115 Charges, the football certainly was era-defining, changed the game and how teams play. Maresca, on the other hand, he's not new here. He's worked at City for a couple of years, once as the U23 coach, where he won Premier League 2, and then once as the first-team assistant under Pep in 22-23. So this was after Arteta's time as the assistant coach. Enzo Maresca does have 3 trophies as a head coach, 2 at Chelsea and 1 in the championship with Leicester. So
was he the manager when they came up?
He was, and then he left. Yep.
Yeah, because he went to Chelsea. How about that? I forgot about that.
Yeah. So he knows the style of play at 115 Charges. He'll pick it up right where Pep left off.
Maybe.
Positional play. He's probably a little slower, heavier on the ball, focus on control. One thing I want to look out for is the wing backs, if you will. So the left and right fullbacks, how high they press up as they kind of morph into that 3-2-5, 3-1-4, whatever it happens to be, 3 in the back formation. Those 2 fullbacks really get high. So
is the third one going to be Rodri?
He's usually drops there into the middle.
But is it going to be Rodri?
Not sure. He's been linked with Barcelona pretty heavily.
Yeah. And before that, Madrid. So, yeah, he's not – I don't think he's training with them. Well, I don't think he's going to be available.
Yeah, I don't like that question. I'm not going to ask that question. So what did they do this summer? They bought Elliot Anderson, and he's supposed to replace Bernardo Silva, who went to Real Madrid. I don't know that you can replace Bernardo Silva. They paid $116 million to try and replace him, which is a new club record fee.
You mean 115 plus 1, right?
Yes, 115 plus 1.
That's true. That sounds like something we tried to do once.
Yeah,
40 plus 1.
40 plus
not
1.
$1 million. 40 plus 1 pound. John Stones left. Goalkeeper nobody knows left. And they got a 17-year-old Jeremy Manga from Leicester, who we wanted and went there to Team 115 Charges. So I didn't like that.
Yeah, the Elliot Anderson signing this summer just completely screwed the whole transfer window process because it just threw everything out of whack. All of a sudden, the stakes were raised. That's why Arsenal couldn't go after Morgan as heavily as they thought, because with the stakes being raised, that guy got sold for $117 million. So, just bonkers when you think about the money that's involved. And this Jeremy Manga, he chose money over. He chose the better deal for him. Let's put it that way. And
you can't blame him.
No, and he's a 17-year-old kid. I don't know how good he is. People talk about how good he is. Is he going to even play at Team 115 Charges? I don't think he will, but he's somebody who you put on the bench or you put in your youth teams. Very happy to see Stones and Silva leave. I'm very happy to see Silva leave. Folks probably know I don't care for him one bit. And
how many yellow cards has he gotten?
A whole pile. How many red cards? 0.
Yeah.
0.
It's not a non-zero number. It's 0.
It's 0. It's a gift. He's bribed the PGMOL all those years.
PGMO.
Oh, they lost the O? They lost the L. Huh. Okay.
They're winners.
Gotcha.
See what I did there?
Are they winners?
Well, they gave up the L.
So we talked about what Team 115 did, and I'm sure there's going to be more business done by both Team 115 and Arsenal. But what did Arsenal do?
Yeah, we moved a lot of players. So
you see this
going
list,
out,
it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, going out as Trossard, 15. Norgard, I think, for 7. Kivior was 17. Yeah. And Karl Hein to my friend Matt, my other friend Matt, who likes Werder Bremen.
For 3.
3? Yeah, I was just going to say. Yep, exactly. So not too bad. 20, I'm trying to think, 27, 37, 42.
But you still think that we would get more for Kiwior and Trossard, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
You
okay.
It's an average of 10 and a half.
Even Norgard,
players, so I'd like
more.
to think we could have gotten more. We spent 34 on Zolas from Club Brugge, so he's got a lot of goals and a lot of assists over there. Hopefully he can bring some of that here. I don't know, we're going to get him for 20 and 20, but wouldn't that be great? Hincapi
James.
permanent we signed him last year with a must sign to transfer this year, and I liked what he did last year. Hopefully we get more games out of him in terms of availability, if not played. We signed from Leeds, Ilian Melier. And he's our third goalkeeper. I told you guys, I think I like him better as our second. I think Kepa's.
I think we've seen why, right?
But
season, we've seen.
Yeah. And after that first game, I said it, and I don't know that it's going to change, but we got him for free, right, Melier?
Yeah, he was a freebie. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we got two backup goalkeepers for $5 million. I'll take it. Bruno, 39, got him for $75 million. He played that 45 minutes against Como. Yeah. That's not bad. 4 in, 4 out so far.
Have you made your peace with Bruno?
We'll see.
On the squad yet?
I'll tell you what. When he scores his first goal, gets his first assist,
you'll be celebrating.
Yes. There's more about that very, very soon at the end of this episode. Let's go.
So Solace is what? Look, every podcast that I listen to is talking about Solace and how good he has looked in this preseason. I'm very interested to see him play in this Shield match for sure. He's somebody I'm going to be focused in on. I know Martinelli usually does well against Team 115 charges, but I have a hunch that Solis is going to be the one that's starting. Last season, I think we've mentioned it, 29 total assists across all competitions. 29 assists, folks. This is going to be a fun one to watch. I am very, very excited to see this guy play.
It is the Jupiler League in Belgium, but it's ranked higher. Belgium, we said this maybe a few episodes ago, but the Belgian league is ranked higher than I think the Turkish league, the Greek league, maybe the Portuguese league. It's like the sixth or seventh highest ranked league in the world, so it's not bad.
And he did get Champions League action with Club Brugge last year, so can't wait to see him in action for real.
Yeah, and his signing is very similar to last summer, trying to buy first team quality players to fill in all the positions, so you've got depth at every position. We're funding it with sales, so out goes 31-year-old Trossard for 15. In comes the younger version of him, as Arteta would say, 7 years his junior, for basically the same style, for 20 million more. So pretty good business, I'd say. This is what champions do. They get rid of the old, in with the new, keep the same quality, trying to keep the same pay structure, that kind of thing. So Trossard leaves, I call him a legend. You can debate that all you want, but he leaves after making 174 appearances, 36 goals. He went out as a Premier League champion, so hats off to him. Good career. He did have 34 assists as well, 24 in the Premier League. That's one more assist in the Premier League total in his time at Arsenal than Solis had last year in the Belgian Pro League. So we are getting a good playmaker, over 50 goal contributions last season. So pretty good replacement for Leo. Sayonara. In terms of the team, what do you think about
starting
Bruno
11?
Yeah.
I think so. Does Bruno start? I think that's the big one.
Sorry, I was looking up to see where Tross fits in the history of Arsenal, and I didn't find it yet. But yeah, go ahead.
Cult hero or legend?
Well, I was 34 goals, 36 goals. Where does he fit?
Oh, from a scoring.
Yeah, is he like the 30th, 25th? Like where does he fit? I think for me, that would have a role. So I'll find that before we get to the end of this episode.
But yeah, so does Bruno start this match. He's had the 45 minutes in the second half. He did play with some of the quote-unquote first teamers that Arsenal do have. I think he and Odegaard got to play a little bit in the latter stages of this match against Como. So what say you? Does Bruno start?
I think Bruno starts. I think he gets about 60 minutes, in fact.
Yeah, you didn't pay $75 million to sit him on the bench.
That's right.
Even if it's the Community Shield.
Then who else do you have in that midfield? Do you have Odegaard starting? Who do you have on the left? Waneri?
I think for
my
me,
gosh.
honestly, I would have Gyökeres up front. We didn't kind of put this in there, but I would have Gyökeres up front, and I would have Kai and Odegaard as the 8s, with Kai kind of being that second striker.
Yeah.
And Bruno sitting a little bit deeper and creating. Between him and Odegaard, they're going to tear it up.
And Bruno cleaning it up. Yeah. Let's throw some elbows on their midfield. See what Anderson thinks.
Yeah, but if he does that, he's going to he'll get booted straight away. He's an Arsenal player now. He sneezes the wrong way, he's going to get booted, right? Look at the ref wrong. Yeah, okay, so Gyökeres starts. What do you guys want to see from him in this first match? What are the things that you are interested in seeing him and how he plays, specifically how he plays with Bruno?
I want to see him run into that left channel like he's done pretty repeatedly. I think if you got Solis there on the left, it's not Martinelli. They're not, vying for the same space. Mm-hmm. So he'll come and run the channels to the left. Bruno will get some of those one-touch passes there into the corridor, and hopefully he can hold the ball up. He was doing a lot better job of that at the end of last season, holding the ball up, bringing the team up the field. At the beginning of last season, it just bounced right off of him. It was embarrassing. So if they can hold it up, bring the team forward, I think they've got a pretty solid midfield to pin them in.
I have a little different take. I don't want to see him hold the ball up. I want to see him give him the ball, and I want to see him
go to goal.
I don't want to see him stop. I want to see him go to the net, move towards the net, and either slam that near post shot that he's famous for, or curl it into the far post, or 5-hole the keeper, nutmeg him.
Now you're
either way, he, like the hold the ball up slows everything down. So either somebody has to make that second run, which is Havertz in this case, because I want him to start too, and he dishes it off, or he's just got to. I don't even want to see him facing his back to the goal. I want to see him side. I want to see his left arm, if he's in that left channel, his left shoulder facing the goal, so that when he receives the ball, he can turn and shoot, or just shoot one time. That's what I want to see.
I'd love to see that too, especially that 5.
I just want to see him score a goal. I wanted that's the biggest thing for me. Have him start the season off proper with a goal in this first game against a big name opponent. I think that would do wonders to start his campaign. So that's what I want to see from him. I don't care how he scores it. He can score it off of his bum. It does not matter to me.
I think that was Saliba.
That was Saliba. Okay.
Saliba last year, the year before, with his bum, but I do remember the hip thrust.
Yep.
Oh, it's the hip. Yes, sorry.
It was the hip thrust, the sort of groin hip thrust.
That was Gyökeres. Yes. I don't care how it goes in. Just go in and be happy and celebrate.
I want to say this the right way. So we spent 22 years talking about what it would feel like to watch Arsenal go out and be the team everybody's measuring themselves out. So I want to make sure we all enjoy that. Now, let's take a look, and let's go Kevin, Matt, and then I'll go last at predictions for this game. They're going to walk out champions. What are they going to end up doing?
I predicted a 2-1 scoreline in favor of Arsenal. I thought that Eze played really well today. He had 30 minutes. Everything was going through him. the game was justified to the left into his 8 territory, if you will, and he just ran the show. So he would be my pick to start, put him in for 45 minutes, and I'd see at least 1 goal contribution, possibly 2, with him in there. With him, Solis, Gyökeres, Bruno, all kind of favoring that left side maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm going for.
Nice.
I'm going to go a little bit more of a barn burner kind of a match because I've got Arsenal winning this one 3-2. I think the defense still hasn't shown up yet for Arsenal. I suspect that Raya will be the starting goalkeeper in this match. At least I hope so. So that he gets some game time with the first teamers prior to the Premier League starting. So, but I do still think the defense hasn't solidified itself yet, and it'll be a little loose. And I'm hoping that it is an open game, frankly. I think that would be really entertaining for everybody. And I've got Jesus as my player of the match. Don't ask me why, because I don't know. I just put him in there.
He's going to score that third goal that wins the game in the 84th minute or something like that.
And they don't play extra time in this. It's done after the 90 minutes. They just go straight to penalties. So I don't think there's any. Yeah, it would have to happen in the under the 90-minute mark.
I think Arsenal scores at the end of the first half. I think 115 scores at the beginning of the second half, and right before his number is called, Bruno is going to get an assist that wins the game 2-1 and walks off hands in the air to the cheers of the crowd. Arsenal win 2-1. Bruno is the player of the match. Bruno 39.
All right. Good way to enter the team.
Right. 3 quick things.
But before we leave that, so Bruno, he is growing on you.
Well, so I pick him because I want him to do this so that I can immediately be on the bandwagon rooting for him.
There's no I gotta warm up to this guy. It's immediate embrace. Got it.
He's gonna drag me along because he's gonna get this to win the game against 115 charges. He's gonna win the game and endear himself immediately with a game-winning assist. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm tracking. I like it. I like it.
Kevin, what do you got? 3 quick things. Number 1.
Yes, so in the Shield on Sunday, Arsenal come in as the 8th ranked team on the Forbes most valuable teams rankings at $5.4 billion. Team 115 charges, 1 ahead at 7th position, $5.5 billion. If you go back to before Sheikh 115 charges came and took the team over, in 2006, Arsenal were 4th on the Forbes list, $650 million. That's how much it's grown in 20 years, from $650 million to $5.5 billion. At that time, Team 115 charges were way back in 14th, behind Newcastle, just ahead of Spuds at $220 million. So a third the value of Arsenal are now beating Arsenal in value. So now that we're kind of on the same playing field, 5.5 to 5.4, I'm curious what the battle's going to be with Arteta and Maresca.
I think they're going to dip.
Fingers crossed.
That's amazing how much.
Especially when those charges come to fruition. Yeah.
They better. They have to. They have to.
If they won't.
It's 129 technically charges, and so even if half of them hit somehow or I mean, it's kind of all or none, and I feel like it can't be none. They can't let it just anyway. That's a whole separate thing.
Oh, they can
Alexis Sanchez, Alexis played for us and was kind of in that phase of we bought some big players. We bought Ozil, we bought Alexis, and we were supposed to at that time. That was turn the corner where we could win the league, and it didn't happen. But he signed this week for CF Montreal for the rest of this season. And next season, they have that shortened sprint season that puts the MLS back on the same schedule as the rest of the world, start in the fall, finish in the spring. So he'll be playing for them for the next couple seasons. We'll see how it goes after that. 875 appearances in his career, 259 goals, 173 assists. It's about a point, give or take, every other game. A goal contribution. Thank you. He got 6 trophies with Barcelona over the years, 5 trophies with Arsenal, 5 trophies with Inter Milan, and the Copa America and the Copa Centenario for Chile. So pretty cool stuff. And it'll be interesting to see him in the MLS. It'll be interesting to see how long he stays at Montreal, if anybody else wants to pick him up, or if he extends there, whatever. But it'll be fun if you watch the MLS in America to watch him play.
Yeah, he's an impressive player, and I just remember him playing with Ozil, and those were fun times for Arsenal. My quick thing, everybody who knows Nick Hornby?
I do.
Yes, we know Nick Hornby here on the. Well, Nick Hornby wrote a book a while back called Fever Pitch, where it professes his love of soccer essentially, and more to the point, talks about his love of Arsenal. And based on that book, it was made into a film over in England. Who's that English actor that plays the lead role?
What else was he in?
Oh, he's I don't know. I don't know what else he was in. He was in that Love Actually. Anyway, Fever Pitch. Great book. If you ever really do want to read sort of history of Arsenal, it's not a bad place to start. He is having a new book, releasing a new book in January 27. The book is called Cash Out, and I do want to read a little bit about the plot of this book because it ties in nicely with what we're talking about. So Cash Out, it follows Sophie. Sophie's not a soccer fan, but always humored her Uncle Keith's passion for a Premier League team. And the Premier League team that Keith's passion is for is Leicester City. In 2016, everybody knows, 2016, everybody, Arsenal fans, we finished second that year. It was very frustrating because we thought we had it within our grasp. Leicester City, Keith, in 2016, in this book, he places a bet, long shot bet on Leicester City. Anybody remember what those odds were?
5,000 to 1.
Yes, excellent. So not only does Keith place a bet for himself, but he also places a bet for Sophie. Now remember, Sophie, not a soccer fan, not a sports fan. Sophie finds out about this bet, and she is watching the team grow, watching all that's happening at the odds that at 5,001, what is her life going to be like? And as it gets closer to this being realistic and Leicester City winning, she's got all of these people coming out asking her to cash out. So they would give her whatever winnings, and they would have her cash out of her bet. I don't know much about gambling, so I don't know if this is realistic or not. So this follows the story about how Sophie's life changes, how she becomes a sports fan, all because of some simple, silly bets. And yes, Leicester City, 2016. Still stinks.
I think the actor you're looking for is Colin Firth.
Thank you. That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
He's not the first one I think of when I think of Love Actually. I think of Hugh Grant when I think of British guy, but they're all Colin Firth. By the way, who is, and I don't expect either of you to know this, Doug Lishman?
Don't know.
Going back a while, who is John Radford?
Nope.
I'll also know.
Joe Holme or David Jack.
Who are
These
two
are
people that have
players.
never been in my kitchen?
These are players from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s that are in the top 10 of Arsenal scorers, with anywhere from 124 to 149 goals scored for the club.
I've heard of Radford, I think.
I
None of the other
know
guys.
it's a long time ago, but it's hard to think for me, Kevin, about Tross as legend. He did win a trophy, but these guys did as well.
Mhm.
It's hard for me to think of Tross as a legend. I feel like he's a
Cult hero?
maybe.
Mr. Clutch. That's it. It ends there.
I don't even know that I think of him that way. But
Isn't that how he signed off when he said farewell? Mr.
As
Clutch. or something
Mr.
like that?
Clutch?
Yourself Mr. Clutch?
Yeah.
You don't give yourself a nickname.
No.
You can give yourself
Fair.
a gamer tag. You cannot give yourself a nickname.
That is fair.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But you can start, but you can. The book is up for pre-sale right now, so you can go ahead and
I actually
put your
have
money down.
Fever Pitch, and I've seen the movie that's the Boston Red Sox one. That's the American
Oh, I forgot
version.
about that. Yeah. Yep,
Yeah,
that's the American
but I
version.
haven't
Yeah.
read the whole book. I started it a number of times, and right now, off the top of my head, I can't even think of where it is. So I think that's got to be among the next 2 or 3 books that I read. I got to find it and bring it out.
Oh, it's really interesting. It's like he does all these game recaps of like all of these noteworthy matches that he's ever watched in his life, and of course, basically Arsenal being.
What is the
featured
last
in
book
one
each of you
those.
just recently read, or what was the last book you read? So I won't put you on the spot. I just finished Frankenstein. My mom's husband Bill taught Frankenstein. He was an English teacher at the Air Force Academy in Colorado. So I read it. Weirdly, Scoob just finished reading Dracula. We did not have the conversation, but I found out. So we're gonna trade books. I have the original Mary Shelley 1818, and we're gonna trade these books and then have a conversation about it. But I just finished reading that, and so it's kind of like I have to read Dracula first. I'm reading a book written by the guy who is the chairman of the board for the company I work, and then I'm gonna have to read Nick Hornby. So one or the other or both of his books that you're talking about. But
read any and all of Nick's books. They're great. I think the world of
who's Tuesdays with Maury?
That's former sports writer. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't think of his name. I've read a
Detroit
couple of
guy.
his books, and I just bought one of his books that's going to have to get pushed further down the list. But today, August 12th, is my mom's birthday. So I want to say happy birthday, Mom. I talked to her on the phone. Finally got a chance to talk to her. But this is Stateside Gooners. Make sure you follow the show. Share it around. Thank you for being part of the Stateside Gooners community. New episodes Sundays and Wednesdays. And after the game in Cardiff, we will have our pod that we'll do Sunday night. And are we doing a top 10?
I'm not sure if I'll do a top 10 list for the Community Shield. Boy, it was so hard to do those last year. I was very ambitious and thought I could do one for every single Premier League game. That's my goal again this year, is just the Premier League matches.
We will take what we can get.
Yeah.
We'll take what we can get. So thanks for listening, and we'll be in front of you again, we hope, on Sunday night or Monday. Good to see your faces.
Good to see you.
See you.